Hello and welcome to Happy Horror Time Podcast. I am Tim Murdoch.
And I am Matt Emmert, and we have a special treat in store for listeners today. Not only are we dedicating the entire episode to Jordan Peele's highly anticipated new movie. What's it called, Tim?
Nope.
Wow, that was so loud.
Oh my God.
No, it's okay. I love it.
I actually didn't know I could do that.
Wow, Tim, that was some like, what is the word, like bravissimo or something. But anyway, not only are we dedicating the entire episode to Nope, but we invited a friend of ours to participate in our little discussion. He is a friend of the podcast. He's become a friend of ours, and he even has his own horror YouTube channel. It's called Stanny Boy Reviews. So I highly recommend that all of our listeners go to YouTube, search Stanny Boy Reviews, and like and subscribe and all that shit. His name is Stanley Jacobus.
Woo! Yes, thank you so much, you guys.
Hi, Stanley.
How
Hi,
are
guys.
you on this Monday?
I'm doing very well, thank you so much. How are you guys?
We are great. And just so listeners know, not only are we just discussing Nope with Stanley, we actually went and saw Nope.
I sat next to him.
He did.
It's true.
Did he
I sat
cop a
next to
feel?
both of
He
you?
did. I liked it.
So, well, Stanley, before we even talk about anything about Nope or Jordan Peele or anything, tell our listeners about Stanny Boy Reviews, like how it started, what you do with it, you know, like that kind of stuff.
Oh, I've got a question too. Why did you pick the medium of YouTube where you're seen instead of podcasts where you're not seen?
Because look at this beautiful
Well, of
face.
course, I'm just saying, but that's, as someone who's done YouTube videos, it's a lot of work. And I
It's
am
so much
anti-work.
work. Oh gosh, it is so much work. Well, I like doing the editing. I like doing like the editing, and I like doing the recording and all that stuff. So I did that simply because I just like that whole factor of it all. So I started off on Instagram and I started doing like the written reviews. And then I figured that once the new year started that I would just try doing something different. And I'm an actor, and so I figured that that would be like a new way to just put myself in front of a camera as well. So that's basically that. But yeah, so I started a YouTube channel on January 1st and decided that I would do a new review every week. And I've been pretty good at putting out new content every week, I think.
That's great.
That's great. I mean,
yeah.
Matt and I have each other to keep each other on track. So who keeps you on track?
My dog.
I was gonna say your doggy. Stanley has like, I know it's like, well, your boyfriend seems very supportive. We met Stanley's boyfriend at Monster Palooza.
And he's not
Christopher
a monster.
He's not a monster. No, he's an angel in comparison. Oh my gosh.
And
no, he's really wonderful.
And again, I don't want to turn this into like an interview, but I do love to know, especially just because we all have our stories of how we got involved with like our love for horror. Like, when did your love for horror start, and what are your like top 3 favorite horror movies, just to get a style for what you love?
And if you had to choose between Friday the 13th and Halloween, which would you pick?
Okay, Tim.
Now I answer all that.
Oh gosh. Well, to answer the first question, it started when I was really young. I think I was like 3 when I first saw Pet Sematary, and my stepfather showed it to me, and it scarred me and put me into like therapy as a very young
say
child.
a coma.
And a coma. So I mean, I couldn't even pass the video in a video store without having like a nervous breakdown. So that was what started it. And I've just been obsessed with horror movies ever since. And I tend to lean towards really, really bad horror films like 90s direct to DVD or direct to video, I guess, those ones. And to answer the other question, I think I'm more of a Halloween guy as opposed to Friday the 13th.
We're done.
But
that was the right answer, Stanley.
I was just watching Friday the 13th Part 4 before this started. So
final chapter.
Good choice.
And
wait, Tim and I it's
like
the ultimate
them.
It's like the ultimate fight, Halloween versus Friday the 13th. And it's funny, and you know, it's funny because listeners have even caught on to this. Like, I feel like if someone hears about something Friday the 13th related or has something, they always direct it at you, and if it's Halloween related, it's directed at me.
Well,
but
they know who they are.
We also both love, like, I love Friday the 13th, and
course.
Tim loves Halloween. So like,
I like them both.
Exactly.
I do like them
Good
both. I also
political
really
answers.
love A Nightmare on Elm Street. So
Yeah.
Oh,
I
well, we
like
love
them
that
all.
too.
Yeah, no, just kidding. No, of course we love A Nightmare on Elm Street. So this movie, Nope, this is Jordan Peele's third movie that he has written, produced, directed, and I'm just wondering. I assume that you have seen Get Out and Us. What were your
Oh
thoughts
yeah.
on those two?
Oh, I really like both of them. I liked Get Out a little bit more than I liked Us. I think it was just a little bit more grounded and it was just more realistic, I suppose. Us kind of lost me in the last 30, 40 minutes, although I really liked the ending and I like Lupita quite a bit. But I mean I liked Get Out a lot more.
You
But they're
have to get
good.
you have to get out of my head because that's kind of almost exactly how I feel. And then I want to hear, Tim, how you feel, because Get Out, I absolutely loved Get Out. I mean, obviously that was the first, so there's always a little bit of novelty in the first movie. This is Jordan Peele, who is coming off of being kind of like a comedy guy, and he creates this horror movie that has such a message and deals with like race, but also is scary and is just well performed. And I think everybody was impressed. So when Us came out, it looked just really terrifying. And the truth is, the first half I found really scary. Like, it felt like a home invasion thriller, and it
Right.
was scary as shit. And the second, well, not even the second half, maybe the last third, like you said, it got a little too political for me. Like, it lost what I wanted from the horror movie, which I felt like could have been done if it was a little less political. So it lost me a little bit, but I still overall liked it. I just didn't like it as much as Get Out. How about you
Yeah.
on both of them?
I feel the same way both of you feel. I definitely like the trailer for Us.
Oh.
I know that I'm really into trailers.
I am too.
Right? They're just
Absolutely.
they're little summaries of the movies, and I love the music. So I like the Us trailer, but I thought Get Out was a stronger film, and I like Jordan Peele. I think he's a cool guy.
Now, what are your thoughts on living in trailers?
Oh, well,
You're like, I really love trailers.
Like, you mean like when I'm the star of a movie and I
you
am in
mean
my
like
trailer?
when it says Tim Murdoch
Right,
on the
right,
door?
right. It
Yeah,
says
yeah,
star,
exactly.
do not knock.
And then you you poop in the toilet and you demand that someone comes in and cleans it for you.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah. You're that type of diva?
Yeah.
I am too.
You are too. How dare you flush your own? Get someone
Flush
in there.
your own.
Flush your own. No, I mean, that is work. That takes work.
I know.
No. Well, it sounds like we're kind of all on the same page. So I'm sure I know we all were very much looking forward to Nope, as was most of, I think, the world.
I just need to say this. I think this movie, and good job to which movie studio is this?
Is it Blumhouse? Was it?
I think it's Universal.
Yeah,
it's
Universal.
Oh,
Which,
okay.
yeah, okay,
They
Universal.
really shoved it down our throats for like a year, right?
I kept thinking Blumhouse because Universal works with Blumhouse on Halloween.
Right. But I mean, like, I just felt like this trailer and the posters and everything.
It's been like a year.
Yeah. Like,
they
started forget it.
They started marketing a year ago. Yeah, they did. But I mean, again, it's like he has developed like a sort of cachet, like that word, like he's developed so much of a reputation that now, whereas with Get Out, if a year before it came out, they said like a horror movie from Jordan Peele, people would be like, what the fuck?
Who cares?
But now, because of the success of the first two movies, they can do that. And they can do that and not even say much about the movie. I will say this, in the trailers, I thought the trailers were done really well. Obviously, you knew it was going to be alien related, but I will say I was a little worried going into this movie that he was going to make it look like it was about aliens, and then it really was going to be about some big political message and not be alien based. Thank God it wasn't, though. I'll just say that.
I had the same concern too.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like a political statement.
But I mean, if they and trust me, this movie's, and we'll get into this movie, does make a lot of statements, and I'm really excited to see what each of us got out of this. And what I will say is that, just to start off, the movie opens with a quote, and I actually looked it up so I can read it, because I do think this actually holds true in the movie. The quote, apparently it's from the Old Testament, and the quote is, "I will cast abominable filth upon you, make you vile, and make you a spectacle." And I'm pretty sure that's what Tim says to his dates the first time he meets them. Am I right, Tim?
Within the first 3 minutes.
Tim, I will throw filth at you and make you a spectacle.
And there's no second date.
I know, and for some reason it doesn't get to the second date. No. So, that's a pretty powerful quote, and it goes right into beginning, and I feel like the opening scene. Tim, tell us about the monkey. The opening scene. What we see.
Okay, so there's apparently a flashback to this sitcom from well, it started in 1996, but it was in 1998. Was it season 2 of Gordy Comes Home?
Yeah, with a chimpanzee as the main star.
And it's kind of like I in the tradition of Alf. And it looks like there was a major catastrophe.
Yeah, they don't show it at the beginning. You just see that the chimp, you hear like that he's like either bashing people or doing something. And then you just see him with blood all over his face.
And then you see a shoe with 1 drop of blood on it, which is very symbolic. I will say this, all Jordan Peele's movies are very symbolic.
Oh, yeah.
And this movie might as well just be called Symbols.
Well, I'm wondering, Stanley, like when you saw the opening scene, were you like me thinking, what the fuck does this have to do with anything?
Oh yeah, no, that definitely threw me for a loop. I didn't expect a chimpanzee to be the first thing I saw in a movie that was supposed to be about aliens.
Wait, were you like, I'm sorry, am I in the right movie?
For a brief moment, absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, it switches to the main plot, which involves a brother and sister. The brother is played by Academy Award nominated or winning actors. He's only been nominated, right? Oh no, he includes.
Did he win?
No,
I want to say he won last year, but I might be wrong.
No, you're right, because he's received an Academy Award. Daniel Kaluuya, who was the star of Get Out, so he plays OJ Haywood, and he gets a lot of shit, of course, for being named OJ. And his sister Emerald is played by Keke Palmer, who I specifically know because of Scream Queens, the TV show. I feel like she's been around for a long time, though.
Yeah, I just can't believe that she's only 29, but I remembered her from Grease Live when she played Marty.
Oh, wow. Did you know Keke Palmer?
Oh yeah, she was in Aquila and the Bee.
Yes.
Back in like 2005 with Angela Bassett. Is it Bassett or Bassett?
That's a really good question.
I don't even know what the hell. I always mispronounce every last name I ever.
What's love got to do with it?
It's Bassett, actually.
Oh, that's what it is.
It's Angela Bassett.
It's Whitney Houston.
So Keke Palmer and her, so 2 pretty big actors, and they're on a ranch with their father, who's played by like the very well-known Keith David, who plays their father, and they run a ranch which trains horses for like TV and movie productions.
Animal trainers.
Yeah, like it's called Haywood Horses or something, and it's in this huge, vast. Like, wait, I forgot. Do we find out what city is? Did they say Aqua Dulce?
It's Aqua Dulce. Yeah.
Is that a real place?
Yeah, where is
it?
That?
It is. There's actually an animal sanctuary over there that I volunteered at, so it's very much real. It's like it's like towards like Lancaster. If you like go like up the 5 and. Yeah, it's a real place.
Isn't it like an hour? How far away is it from Los Angeles?
It's probably like 45 minutes to an hour, depending.
Oh my God. And it's that vast and open like that? Like
I don't want to say it's like as it's like depicted in this movie, but it's definitely very valley-ish. Like it's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
I was just shocked. It's this expansive, beautiful, like large area that they have this ranch. And so, but then out of nowhere, out of the sky falls all of these coins and metal objects. And the dad, Keith David,
who's on a horse,
a nickel falls through the sky and goes through his eye and into his brain.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I didn't think it went through his eye.
Well, yeah, because they take him to the hospital and you see the x-ray and the nickel is lodged in his like brain, basically.
I just thought it went through his skull.
No, I mean, it was the x-ray shows it, and it's just like my first thought, and I'm wondering what you thought, because I was like, oh, I knew from the preview he died, but Keith David's a big, actor to have 5 minutes in the movie, right?
Yeah.
But the movie's big.
Yeah. I mean, and it's really shocking because as OJ is taking his dad to the hospital, he's just gushing blood.
Yeah, there was a lot of blood in that scene.
That was gross.
And right away, like, it doesn't usually rain coins unless maybe I'm living in the wrong city.
I would love that. I'm poor.
Yeah. I was just thinking, did anybody think when right after this, because the dad dies and, the brother, sister have to take over the ranch and they're like losing money. I was like, couldn't they just collect all the coins that fell?
Well, that and why don't they just sell it? Sell the whole thing.
Well, yes. The next thing is, so they show us kind of the dynamic of OJ and Emerald trying to like bring their horse to a Hollywood studio. And this was kind of a funny scene because OJ is very soft-spoken and subdued. And I was wondering, like, Stanley, overall, what did you think of his performance? Because I've heard very different things.
I really liked it. I heard a lot of different things too, but I thought it was very quiet and I thought it made sense for just the kind of character he was. And especially given the fact that he just had experienced like such a tremendous loss. And I could only assume that he was really close to his father, and the fact that his sister had left and that it was just his father and him. I thought that it worked. I thought it worked really well. And
I guess I somewhat feel differently, but at the same time see what you're saying, because I totally get it. You lose a parent, you're gonna
shut down,
totally messed up. I guess because he is very stoic throughout the entire movie. I even scenes where like with aliens, and I didn't see a lot of emotion on him, and I kind of was like, I totally was cool with the stoicness like throughout the beginning, but I felt like I wanted more, especially knowing he's such a talented actor, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And like I understand they have to play on the dynamics, like this sister's really outgoing and he's really not. So, but I was like, we get that, but I wanted to see some kind of gradual character change.
Well, and speaking of opposites, Keke Palmer is like on a 12 at all parts of this movie, which I'm sure is easy for her because she seems like a very spirited, animated person.
I loved her.
Yeah, I mean, is so much fun. She had great lines. She's funny. She's obviously the personality of this. And when they're trying to like sell the horses, one thing you notice in this scene is that nobody's listening to them when they're saying like don't look at the horse in the eyes, don't get its line of sight, like don't get right behind it. Like these actors and these like producers and directors are all assholes, not listening to them. They just want to use the horse and get done with it.
They really made Hollywood look like a bunch of shitheads.
Yeah.
they really did.
Did you take anything else from that scene other than that like I didn't feel like they were taking OJ and Emerald seriously? Like I guess I can call her, Keke Palmer, has this big speech about how like one of the first moving pictures was this horse with a black jockey on it, and nobody ever asks who the black jockey is or knows that he was like a great-great-grandfather of theirs. And all of these like white, like elitist Hollywood people, you can tell they just don't care and are just dismissing everything and like, just give me the horse.
Right. Well, she was also side hustling, and I'm sure.
Yeah, she's like, I'm available for productions and stuff. But did you get anything else from this? Like, I'm not sure, because I know that scene's important because it shows the dynamic between them and Hollywood, but
I honestly was just waiting for that horse to kick the white actress lady in the
Donna
face.
Mills.
Yes. Did you guys notice that one of the actors there with the glasses on was Osgood Perkins, Anthony Perkins' son?
I didn't
catch that
until I think it was either you or someone told me yes, and which is amazing, because my first question was, I didn't know Anthony Perkins had children, because I knew he was out and gay at the end, but I guess he was married.
Well, he was in classic Hollywood. He was married, had 2 children, but was very closeted. Had a little.
He was blowing Tab Hunter on the side.
Well, that's what I was trying to say.
Wait, who did he marry? Who was his wife?
Ooh, I don't know.
Good question.
Mrs. Perkins.
That's who. That's the one.
Love
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer is a great mom to him. I didn't know that, but that is a really cool treat for fans of Psycho and just,
Well, he's also in Legally Blonde.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God, that's him. Yes, oh my God, it's all like making sense to me now. But wow. So anyway, we then get to our other like supporting character, because you find out that OJ and M are like, to make ends meet, have to sell some of their horses to a guy who started a ranch right next to theirs, and is using horses. And it's really it's not a ranch. It's more like a theme park, and it's called Jupiter's Claim, and the guy is Jupe. And it's played by Stephen Ewan, who you would recognize from The Walking Dead. He played Glenn for many seasons. I loved his character.
I never watched one episode of
Did you watch Walking Dead, Stanley?
Oh God. So I really loved the first season. I thought the first season was like mind-blowing. And then I watched it like consecutively through season 4. And then I couldn't tell you a fucking thing about it after that.
I lasted a really long time with Walking Dead. I no longer watch it, but I watched it up until
it's still on?
I think it's in the final final season. I think I watched to season 7 or 8. They started losing so many characters. Either they died or they left, that I just was like, who's on the show now? Like, yes. But so anyway, Stephen Yeun, who plays Ricky Jupe Park, and you find out that
a former kid actor,
was the kid that was part of the family in that opening sitcom, Gordy's, what was it?
Gordy Goes Home? Is that the title?
Gordy's something?
Gordy's Home?
Gordy's
Home.
Gordy's gonna attack the cast.
Yeah.
Gordy likes to eat human face, I think it's called.
Gosh.
But when they go to his, like, this guy Ricky, he's dressed like a cowboy. He has one of those like Western themed parks, and he wants to buy their horses. And they start asking him about the incident with the monkeys, and all he says is that SNL made a skit of it,
which was so interesting, because if it was as tragic as we all saw it was, why would SNL ever make fun of something so horrific?
My only thoughts on that are that I think maybe they didn't die, but they were just all mangled. Like you see, no, I mean, it's still horrible, but like the way that he was describing it, he doesn't talk about any of the trauma, as Jamie Lee Curtis would say, that he suffered. He just talks about it he has a little museum of things he's kept from that show, including the shoe with the blood.
Right.
Yeah. And he just, the SNL skit was hilarious and captured. So right away, you're like, something's a little off with him,
Right. Like, I don't think SNL knew just how horrific it was. I don't think they would have made fun. I'm overanalyzing this one little scene. But...
Well, what were your thoughts on Jupe, Stanley?
Oh God, I don't think he ever went to therapy after this actually happened. I don't think he actually processed any of that event. I don't know.
And he saw it all.
And what's funny? The actor who played him as a kid was so cute, by the way, like the little, really Jupe. But you do see, and by the way, I want to go Jupe. If
you do, I'm leaving.
You're like, Salt and Pepper gave me their permission that I could parody it. Yeah, no, you do see more of a flashback, and you see that when he survived this attack, he was hiding like under a table. He saw it happen, like he saw the chimpanzee like attack his co-stars, and they film it in various angles so you don't see all the violence. But then the chimpanzee comes up to him.
Well, wait, before you say it, like this happens, like they show this way later in the movie.
Oh, well, but
you're putting it all together.
The chimpanzee goes up to do, I guess, their little famous fist pump, even though he's just mangled the cast. And as they do their fist pump, whoever, like cops came in, shoot the monkey in the head. He just explodes in front of the kid.
And the kid's face gets a face full of blood.
That was shocking. In fact, Stanley, I think you jumped at that point.
I literally fucking screamed. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in a movie.
Really?
No, I don't do well with animals getting killed.
I agree. I mean, I'm an animal lover myself.
You do feel for the monkey because you think, or the chimpanzee, because in a way, like it's an animal that got scared from the popping of balloons on set. That's what like caused him off. Now, I'm not saying it's okay that he mangled all the cast and stuff. Obviously, that's a little nuts, but he obviously didn't understand, and he was going back to the kid, just to do their fist pump. He didn't quite know he did anything wrong, and then they just shoot him in the head.
I actually wanted 2 hours of what happened on that set instead of what's going on at the desert.
I want a prequel. I kind of want a prequel about Gordy myself. I think that whole entire flashback stuff, all of that was so interesting. And
could it be called Gordy's Nope? Like, what could the title
be? Nope,
Gordy, Nope. Yeah, Gordy, nope. Okay, so switching, now we can get into the big drama of this. So basically, they've sold some horses to Jupe and his little theme park, and then you start noticing that
just to go back, Jupe has a museum dedicated to his sitcom from the 90s, and people pay like a couple paid $50,000 to go into that museum. Anyways, I thought that was interesting.
No, it was interesting because that's where he had the shoe with the blood, but like he said a couple paying $50,000, but it's just like, again, we're starting to see that like the craziness, which we'll get to when we talk about like overall.
Yeah, there's something wrong with Jupe.
Yeah, and there's something wrong with people. I think this is showing that they'll pay just to be around like artifacts from a tragedy. But anyway, so we get to the actual like main plot, which is yeah, they start thinking that there is something in the sky above their ranch, like some sort of alien.
OJ sees it.
Yes, OJ sees it, some sort of alien presence. Some of their horses are disappearing, and they go to Fry's Electronics, and we introduced to another character in the movie, which is a funny character named Angel. It's played by Brandon Perea.
I agree with Stanley. Very cute.
Yes, he was very cute, little bleached hair, and he helps them set up cameras all over their house to try to capture in the sky like what is going on. And he's very interested in this because of it. And
well, he also says that he just broke up with his girlfriend of 4 years. So that's a little subplot.
It's a subplot. I think you wanted to be his girlfriend of 4 years.
I did too.
Right?
He is very cute, and I haven't seen him before. Has he been in much?
I did no research on him. None.
Me neither.
We're just gonna have to.
What kind of gays are you guys? A hot
I looked
guy?
at his Instagram.
Oh,
I
well,
think
that's
he's
research.
straight, so whatever.
Oh, those straight
That's
people.
fine.
They can have them.
So he helps them set up cameras, and like the first time at night, they start seeing stuff that they start realizing is whatever this alien thing in the sky is. They start noticing first that whenever it's around, electricity goes down, like whether it's the lights or those like weird what are those things called that like used car stores, the big flowing thing,
yes,
guys?
Gosh, what is the name of those?
The wavy dancey things.
Wavy dancey.
What are those called?
Oh my god, wavy dancey things.
Those.
Yeah, and I can't remember the very first run-in they have, but I think
it's just OJ seeing it and then telling Keke.
Yeah.
They have like the conversation on the
She's like, we gotta Oprah this.
Oh yes, and so right away, like M is all about. She wants to get what she calls the Oprah shot, which is like the big money shot of proving there's aliens and that no one else can get, and they'll get tons of money for. And I will say it's interesting that their first thought isn't about, oh my god, what if this tries to kill us or our own safety? No, it's right about getting a shot of it, you know.
And we all have cell phones, but anything can be doctored.
Yeah, like Stanley, did you get? I mean, am I the only one who thought it was weird that they didn't seem concerned about their safety at all?
I didn't think it was weird because I think that's just who we are as humans at this point. I think we're just more concerned about social media and what is going to get a like at this point.
Film now, consequences later.
I will say this. This is a really dark thing, sorry to go here,
dark,
but
Matt, go dark.
If in 2001 cell phones were more prevalent, I think more people would have been filming like 9/11 and the buildings falling, and probably would have been hit and killed by debris as they sat and filmed it than running away, because I do think people are more concerned with get it on film versus like, let me get to be safe.
Remember when I said go dark, I lied. That was too dark.
Oh, sorry.
But you're actually really right, though. I think you have a good point. And I think those videos would be searched like to this day. I think people would eat that shit up.
And that's the thing. It's like, again, think about it. What is your natural reaction if you see like a car crash or something, aka a spectacle? You want to film it. You want to be the one who gets the best shot. You want to be, even in school shootings. I'm sorry, I'm going on like a big thing here, but like people are right away. Like, I feel like get your phone out of the way and either help or get the hell out of there.
I've never been a person to whip out my phone and film anything.
But have you whipped out your?
Yes, of course. But
well, I don't know. I was just gonna say wallet.
But I whip out my wallet.
I was just gonna say wallet.
I never whip my wallet out.
I run away.
Stanley, do you ever whip your wallet out to pay?
Never, if I don't have to.
Tim doesn't whip anything out, right?
No.
Nothing. Nope. Nope. I think we need to get bonus points if you could work nope into the conversation.
I wasn't even trying.
Okay, so moving on, they do get to a point where they find out that this well, actually, let's go to the big, as they're seeing things in the sky, then there's the big, really kind of traumatic scene at Jupe's theme park, because you find out that this alien thing in the sky, it's not a UFO as in a flying object. It's actually some sort of creature with a mouth that can like literally suck up people and everything like a tornado.
But it doesn't like metal.
Doesn't like metal, only likes people and horses and meat.
Right. And you know, there was a one little scene where OJ's by himself and he's like walking around his like stables, and like the little kids from Jupe's show and the aliens
Oh, you're right.
yeah.
like came out, and I was like, okay, are these the aliens?
Totally skipped that. Sorry, Jerry. That was a
okay.
good scene, because before you know what this movie is about, there's a really suspenseful scene where OJ sees people that look like little aliens walking around, and it's really fucking scary. And then they're revealed to be Jupe's kids, like trying to fuck with
Kids
them.
in masks.
I thought that's what we were gonna get.
I think I looked at you
that.
like, I was like,
yeah, I thought that's what we were gonna get as the aliens, and I was like, oh, okay.
Would you have
I'll
been
take
okay
it.
with that, though? That's the thing.
I mean, it was so simple, and that whole scene was filmed like in such an effective and kind of creepy way, to where if it would have went in that direction, I think that I kind of would have been on board with it. Like I don't know, I was open to anything at that point.
yeah. And the audience actually had a reaction when like the little alien, well, it was a kid as an alien, like was like creeping up. Everyone was like, oh,
To be honest, I have to agree with Stanley about it, because like the way they filmed that scene, I mean, true, it's a total misdirection, but was so suspenseful. That may have been the most suspenseful scene of the movie, because every scene with the alien creature was, incredibly action packed and thrilling,
Yeah,
but I was never
different.
like, like really scared. But when those creatures, or sorry, the kids dressed as aliens, like rose up and just walked around in the dark, like here's the thing, Jordan Peele's not an idiot. He knew what he was doing. It was a very clever misdirect. It's a movie about aliens, and you don't know what is the extent of aliens, and so you see these creatures and you're like, oh my god, it's the aliens, they've come down, but it's not.
I mean, it would have worked, but I mean, I guess I'm happy with the clouds.
So let's go to Jupe's big show that he has a big audience at. And I don't know, Stanley, do you want to describe that scene for our listeners? The Star Lasso experience, he calls it, if you remember it.
Oh gosh. Well, from what I remember, he has like this glass case that has one of the loaned horses to him, or I guess he had bought this horse, right? Like he had bought this horse.
It was one of Haywood's. It was one of OJ and M's horses.
Yeah, and I didn't catch it until after after we had finished watching the movie. But this is what he was buying the horses for. He was buying the horses so he could feed these horses to the object in the sky. And I didn't catch that until after the movie was over. But anyway, he has one of these horses on display in one of these glass cases, and he is going to put on this show for the people in the audience, for what he is calling the viewers, and that is the spaceship creature thing in the sky. And there is a girl in the audience who is one of the surviving victims, I guess you can call her, from the attack from what happened on the Gordy show.
And that is the girl, by the way, in the trailer, everyone knows the really messed up face girl who has like the veil over her face. I mean, they used that in the trailer very wisely.
Right. It was his sister on the sitcom.
On the show. Yeah.
And
I
her
was
face
wondering,
is messed up.
I
was wondering how they were going to implement that, because I had no idea what that character had anything to do with the show. And then there you go. And she's wearing like the t-shirt. Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
Tim?
Yeah.
She's wearing her face.
It's like her cute, like sitcom shirt.
And what she looked like before her face was mangled.
That right there alone's a whole separate story. And I was like, oh god, I was like, this is a story within a story within a story.
Oh, it's so fucked up. And he's saying like, oh, my first ever crush is in the audience. There she is.
And she's then, like hi everyone, with the veil covering her face.
It's so terrible.
Yeah.
And she's in her wheelchair, and then the creature eats everybody. Sucks everybody out.
Well, so basically the horse, it doesn't do like, well, that's the thing. Like, apparently, like you said, Jupe has been used to doing this where he thinks he can like control when this alien creature is gonna eat, and he thinks he can just put it on display, but the horse doesn't leave the cage, doesn't look up at the creature, and instead the creature comes over all of the people in this arena and sucks them all of them up. But then you get this one scene that I thought was very effective, where you see flashes of the people, it looks like in like the intestines of the alien, like either being like digested or just like crushed in its digestive system, and that was really horrifying.
Yeah, that part was, I didn't expect anything from like this point forward. Like it kind of turned into an entirely different movie.
It was really, I will say, like, I mean, I think there aren't really many things big enough that could eat people whole. So
Jaws.
seeing, yeah, but seeing a like being digested whole would probably not be fun.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
But in a way, I was like, well, it serves this guy right. He's trying to put this thing on display and everything.
I guess I missed that completely. I didn't know that Jupe was in on the alien in the sky.
Yeah, that was the show. He was like, remember, you're gonna leave
so
here.
This particular show just backfired completely.
Yes, because I think the
Yeah.
whole point was he thought it's like you train a dog, and or it's like, I guess the equivalent would be like Siegfried and Roy. Like they have these wild animals, tigers, that they think they can tame, and they did for a long time. You know, they cooperate with the show until one day it doesn't, and everything goes wrong. You know.
Oh.
And so anyway, we get back to M and OJ, and there is a big scene where they develop a plan where they think that they realize that this creature, like, it doesn't want to eat things that aren't like people or things. So they think they can fool it because they have this plastic horse with flags around it. So they put flags around like their real horse, and they think it won't eat him when he's on it. And they have all these things they're trying to do.
Lots of tests.
Yes, lots of tests where they think they can get away with it, but there's lots of close calls. And finally, OJ comes to the realization that the way to get away from this creature is it only will suck you up if you look at it.
Right. So he doesn't look at it. And Keke also had the idea of like, hey, like when the monsters in the sky is around, all of the power goes down. So let's hire that Hollywood director who uses a camera without power.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're a joke. And then he sees something on the news saying like everyone's dying in this little town.
Well, that's the thing. The whole incident at Jupe's Park gets on the news, and they call up one of those Hollywood assholes who treated them like shit when they wanted to give them the horse. But instead they say, you know, we have proof. We can get proof of this alien. Come and help us. But you need a camera that doesn't need electricity. He brings this camera that you can like kind of like
old school.
Yeah, that you can wind up, I guess is the thing. So then we get to the big like climactic ending, and it's 4 characters. It's OJ, M, it's the guy from Fry Electronics, which I keep forgetting his name.
Angel.
Hottie.
Angel. Yes.
Hottie Angel.
Hottie Angel and the director.
Well, don't forget about the TMZ motorcycle guy.
Yes, there's a quick part where someone from TMZ tries to come, and he is just an idiot who wants to just get it on film, and he ends up getting sucked up by the alien.
Right,
just
which was a
up.
great scene.
Yeah, that was. What do you think of the TMZ guy, Stanley? Did you like him?
I was just waiting for him to take his helmet off and for it to be somebody. I don't know why I thought it was going to be Gordy. I don't know why I thought it was going to, for some reason, that we
the
were
monkey.
Not Gordy. Jupe. I thought it was going to be Jupe for some reason.
Oh,
like I thought for some reason he was like, my mind was just going in so many different places at this point where I was so confused.
I prefer Gordy, Stanley. I think
I don't know why I said Gordy.
Monkey should have come back as like, fuck you.
Can't do motorcycles.
No,
they probably could.
Stanley, I never thought about that. Like, that is because it's very weird. You're watching the TMZ guy never takes his helmet off, and you're wondering what's he hiding. You're right. Like, what if Jupe hadn't gotten digested or maybe been spit out by the alien?
Yeah, because they didn't show us, the audience, Jupe getting eaten, did they?
You saw him watching it, and then you see the wind around him, and then he starts to move up, and it switches. So
but
you
that
assume.
Was like, I guess I wanted more.
Yeah. So the big climactic scene, this director, like, they're able to shield themselves and get on film this alien creature going around like sucking stuff up, and they've gotten it on film. But this idiot director is like, no, this isn't the best shot, the lighting's better now, and literally goes outside from the protection.
I thought he was okay. I didn't know he was getting a better shot. I thought he was trying to just get all that footage and just leave them.
I did too.
Oh, yeah. He says specifically, he's like, no, this is the something hour, or this is the impossible hour or something. And then he even says a line to Angel before he leaves, like, we don't deserve, or people don't deserve the impossible shot or something. So in a weird way, and I did read about this because I was a little confused, but he's going out and he wants to get, quote unquote, the impossible shot, like the best lighting, up close up, even though he goes and literally gets sucked up and eaten by the alien while he's taking the shot. So it's like he wants to get the shot, but he knows nobody's going to be able to see it, and he's okay with that. That makes no sense. He committed suicide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So did you guys think he was trying to? You thought he was trying to get
I
away?
thought he was turning on them. I
Yeah,
thought that he
like-
was like packing up that fucking footage and bouncing, and I was like, oh shit, wait, but
Like
but
he's
no,
like, I got the spectacle, I'm gone.
He didn't want anybody to have this shot, but he also wanted to get an even better shot. That's why he kept rolling. But again, it's
Oh.
like, why? What does it matter if you're getting a shot if you're going to be eaten and it's not going to? I don't know. It was very weird, but that's what he said. He didn't think anyone deserved this crazy shot. So anyway, Angel though does something really smart because at this point the alien kind of figures them out and starts to suck Angel up, but Angel wraps himself in barbed wire,
which is ouch.
yeah.
I thought it was really smart of on his part.
Yeah, I mean it was smart, but I mean I know that he had a little bit of a protection through that I don't know, tarp, a tarp, and it was just bloody.
Did you think Angel was gonna die, Stanley?
I thought everybody was gonna die.
To be honest, I did too.
I was like, this
I
can't
straight
end
up
well.
thought that this movie that nobody was gonna survive.
Nope.
Nope.
So Angel, because he knows that, again, smart thinking, quick, he knows this creature isn't gonna like eat metal, so it spits him right back out. Keke Palmer barely like escapes. She gets like sucked up but thrown because it doesn't quite, because it like was eating the house.
There was a scene before where it was just Keke and the hot guy in the house, and like it was like regurgitating blood all over the house.
Oh, that was creepy. It was like raining blood. It was almost like
it was like
a
spit on them.
It's like an animal marking its territory, like you'd think you're gonna get me now. This is all the blood of everyone else. So it was very creepy. But anyway, finally it's Angel is safe, but it's just Keke and OJ on like opposite ends, and OJ basically decides to look at the creature to try to get it away from Keke so she can escape on the motorcycle.
I was getting very emotional during that, and I do not know why, because
you're so funny.
I mean, like I could have cried.
Really?
Well, only because like he was like, look at my eyes, like you're my sister.
Oh,
I know. I don't
because
have a
you feel
sister.
so close with your sister, Tim.
Well, I don't
the
have
one you don't
a sister.
have.
I'm just saying, with the music and like the IMAX and everything, it was giving me a lot of emotion.
Wait, Stanley, do you have siblings? I don't think I even know.
Oh God, I'm the youngest of 8.
Oh, 8 is enough.
Yeah.
Wait, you're the youngest of 8?
Yeah, I have a big ass
Wow.
family. I wasn't raised with all of them. I was only raised with 2 immediate siblings, but yeah, I'm the youngest of 8.
Were you spoiled because you were the baby?
Fuck no. They don't even say my name right. I get like at least 2 girl names and then a dog's name before my own name. Like they don't even know I'm there.
Wow.
Oh.
There's a little trauma that I
Yes.
think
a
you
lot of trauma.
Because I was the youngest and I was spoiled rotten.
Yeah,
You're
that's
so
why Tim.
lucky.
That's why Tim is such a spoiled little bitch.
Hey,
My
I didn't say I
mom
was a
likes to
bitch.
tell me that I'm spoiled, but her perception of reality is very altered. So
That's amazing. Well, this final thing, it is emotional because you think that OJ is literally sacrificing himself so his sister can get away, like kind of drawing the alien away. Keke like takes the motorcycle, drives to Jupe's Park, and as she's sitting there, she remembers there's this one of the like attractions there was a camera that's inside a well that just points up at the sky. And so
It
again,
takes pictures.
points up at the sky and takes pictures. And again, you're barely escaped with your life, and you're still on her mind is getting a picture. So she starts like putting coins in and winding it to continue taking pictures.
Oh, I didn't gather that.
Thinking that she'll get a shot, at least one shot of the
I
alien
thought
above
she
her.
was doing that to bring the alien closer to get that
No.
thing.
No.
Of the...
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
No.
need to watch it again.
She was taking pictures because she still wanted to get the picture. I think maybe she thought, if we've gotten through so much, I need to get the Oprah shot. It was
Oh my
all
God.
about
I
the
missed
Oprah
that
shot.
completely.
I feel like I have to watch it again too, because I was reading some stuff afterward, like this morning, and there was some stuff I was like, oh shit, like there were some things that I missed, like blatantly, and
Yeah, I'm not
I
gonna
shouldn't
lie.
have missed.
I did do a little research on this. I know
How
that's against
dare
it,
you?
because it is like, I feel like a Jordan Peele movie, you either have to see a few times or you have to do a little reading up on it, because or else
But
we'd
I can definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah, and
but...
and that I definitely knew, because she was wanting to get, like, why else, like that little light wasn't good. She wanted that picture, so she keeps taking these pictures. She finally, as the creature is like turning into this weird jellyfish like thing, flashing its like square shaped mouth. And by the way, what did you Stanley think of when the creature was kind of changing form and looking all like jellyfish like?
I mean, I have a question about this. why does it look like that? Like it looks like a giant bed sheet. Like the whole time I was like, why does this look like it just looks like giant theater curtains? Like how did it become like that?
That I don't know.
Is it because it sucked something out of the house? Like, did it suck like the curtains up out of the house and
I think it's
become a giant curtain? I don't like it.
I didn't like it either, to be honest. I was actually hoping you'd say it first so I could jump on it. Like,
it does look like a big sheet.
I thought it was so much scarier when it was just like a disc-shaped thing with a circular mouth.
And it did show teeth at one point.
Yes, but when it was starting to flow in this jellyfish thing, it felt like I was watching some like light show in the sky.
You know what I thought of? Remember that like TV series in the 80s, like in 1984 called V?
Oh yes, I loved V.
It reminded me of V.
reminded
me of Gordy Comes Home.
It reminded me of Gordy Comes Home, the episode in 1996 when Gordy got a birthday cake.
It reminded me of a vagina.
Okay, thank you for saying it. I didn't want to be the one.
It straight up, there was a lot of vagina there. Like, I don't know why, but like every time it started doing that weird like flowy thing and then it was doing this, I was like, this straight up looks like a vagina.
I will say I don't have a ton of experience with vagina, but
neither do I.
I know,
none of us do.
But I can see that it did have vaginal like that, like tendon, like it looked like, I can't believe I'm saying this.
No, we're
like
talking about
either
vaginas.
like flowery lips that kept
Ew!
And then the teeth on top of it, like
right. And there's
vagina dentata.
There is a movie called Teeth about a girl who's got
teeth in her vagina called Vagina Dentata. Yeah, good movie, actually. You should catch it. But anyway, she gets the shot, and then out of nowhere, and I'm surprised Jordan Peele made this decision. OJ actually survived, and he kind of pulls up on the horse in front of Jupe's area, and she like kind of like M kind of sighs a sigh of relief. So basically, not only did they both survive and Angel, but they also got the Oprah shot, the picture that they needed. So it was a very happy ending, I guess. Oh wait, I totally forgot that they defeated. One thing that M did that was smart, other than take the picture,
like a Jupe.
It was like a big inflatable balloon, like think Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon. She lets it loose, and the alien swallows it. And because it's this huge helium-filled balloon, it pops and it blows the alien up,
which is very reminiscent of Jaws.
Yes, it did. It made me think of that. But yeah, it was a little. I mean, I guess overall, what did you think of the ending? Like, did you think it was too happy? You think it was too easy? You think it was perfect?
I do not think it was perfect. I think that towards this kind of like had the Us effect for me. Like I really liked everything up until about the last 30 minutes, and then it kind of just went in so many different directions to where it wasn't what I expected. And it doesn't mean it was a bad movie by any means. It just wasn't what I had originally hoped for. And what I just had such high expectations, and what those expectations were, I don't necessarily know. I mean, I think I was wanting like a War of the Worlds movie. Like I kind of was wanting something. Like I really liked War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, and there was like there was some of that in there, and I liked with like the blood raining on the house and stuff like that. And I don't know, but I don't like a happy ending. I don't like a happy ending in like movies like this. I think too many people lived.
You don't like a happy ending? You need to go to more massage parlors. Am I right, Tim?
Yeah, you are right.
Oh, boom. I mean, I like those.
But we can't touch anyone right now.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Monkeypox.
Oh God.
I just wanted to bring it down.
Oh yeah, we need to get vaccines for that too, huh?
Don't forget.
Don't forget.
Anyway.
Okay. Well,
happy ending.
Well, I'm interested, Tim, in your thoughts of the ending and kind of overall.
Considering like every single time we went to the movies, and it was like the movie was definitely, just as all three of us are horror movie lovers, this movie was definitely pushed on us like, Jordan Peele, look at this, look at this, look at this. I thought it was a good movie.
Right.
But did it blow my mind? No, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if any filmmaker at this point can blow any of our minds, because we've seen so much.
Yeah. I mean, I have similar feelings. It's tough, because it's like like you said, when a movie's hyped this much, you almost feel like either I should love it, or if I don't, is something wrong with me? Like, am I not deep enough? But to be honest, if you've listened to this podcast, you know, like, we don't give a shit about that crap. Like, we don't care what critics say. We just care how we feel and the horror that we like. With that said, I will say that this definitely, to me, of the 3 movies he's done, was the least horror-esque. Like, it felt much more sci-fi action.
Felt like Tremors.
Yes, it did. It
Right.
was definitely much more big blockbuster, Independence Day, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. What was the movie you said? Not
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds-ish.
Yeah.
I think it was unique in that, like, I've never seen a flying creature versus a UFO ship that creatures are in, so I give credit to that.
A flying bed sheet, you mean?
Yeah, the flying bed sheet at the end. Again, yes, I totally agree. It should have stayed as the disc or whatever. I will say there was a ton. It definitely, without, I liked that it wasn't too political in that, to be honest, you know what I expected? I thought this movie wasn't actually going to be about aliens, and everything they saw in the sky was going to be like government surveillance, and it was going to be some like political thing about that. Thank God it wasn't.
No, I mean, I could see why you might think that, because there's with all the cameras everywhere.
Yeah, and just I thought maybe Jordan Peele loves misdirection stuff. But so I'm glad there were real aliens, and there was a lot of action, and there were some good performances. But what I will say is that I wasn't really scared, other than the scene with the kids dressed as the alien.
It's such a big movie. It kept my interest the entire time.
It did, but I have to say, of his 3 films, it's my least favorite. Even though I did enjoy it and I liked it, I just, nothing for me can beat Get Out. And Us, because it had such a strong first half and was such a scary, terrifying home invasion thriller, it just didn't live up to those 2. But I will say, I think it made its point, if its point was like the whole spectacle thing that our society has turned into people, that everything is about getting something on film, capturing a shot of it, being less concerned with your own safety, other people, or even just what's coming next, other than just getting it on film. Like that, everything is a camera. Everything, it's not real unless it's captured.
I took it as Chris Kattan was a monkey.
That's a good takeaway.
That's where I was going with it.
Did you take away what were your takeaways on like any of the symbols or what he was trying to say by this film?
To be perfectly honest with you, at the end of this movie, I kind of felt like an idiot. Like, I really felt like I missed something. Like, I felt like there was like a lot of it went over my head, and it was, a lot of it was because of the fucking bed sheet. Like how it, like when it turned into a bed sheet, like I was like, all right, I'm out. I don't even know what happened here.
It was interesting that it did turn into a bed sheet.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, first off, you're definitely not an idiot, Stanley. And I also think that I'd say the majority of people aren't going to movies trying to really like look deep into symbolism. A lot of people just want to be entertained.
But how symbolic was this movie? The whole movie was like eye candy.
Well, but the thing is, I think when I was thinking of like the symbolism in it, other than the whole idea of the spectacle, I also think like I was thinking like, why did they put the Gordy part in? What does that have to do with? And all I got
just to make it a better film.
See, what I got from that, my personal thoughts. That helped. Well, yeah, my personal thoughts were like something about how maybe we as humans think that every type of animal or creature can be tamed or exploited. And it's almost like, because let's be honest, Gordy the chimpanzee, they're exploiting him so they can get entertainment and do a TV show. And he turns on them. And then, but the alien creature, he thinks that an extraterrestrial creature who you don't understand can be used as a sideshow element and will pay attention every week to just killing the horse. And what happens? It kills everyone. So it's like, to me, the 2 big things were everything is about capturing stuff on film, and that not every creature or animal or thing out there is ours to be tamed and exploited.
For entertainment.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I started shark wrangling,
but it's true. Think about how many people do the swim with sharks thing, where you are in a cage with sharks. I mean, we're trying to, there's so much like exploiting and using everything for entertainment in life, and like things go wrong and people die.
I interrupted you, Stanley. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I don't even know, to be honest, what I was going to say. Something about, in turn, it's something about how Jupe is kind of like an animal in that case. I mean, he was exploited as a child as well, so he, there's no wonder he turned out the way he turned out. And then was doing the things that he was doing, something like that.
That's a good idea. You know, I didn't even
know.
think about that. That's a good connection because he was kind of exploited. He was also exploited in the, and I don't want to make this a big conversation about race, but he was the Asian adopted kid of this white family. So he was almost like a quote unquote spectacle on the TV show. So then in turn, his life is about like creating spectacles of things too. Oh my God, I just figured out something else.
Yes,
that's why him and Gordy understood each other.
Well, and also, you know, Jordan Peele does like to obviously take an opinion on race, which he should. And like, I think that it was pretty obvious that all of the white elite Hollywood people were not taking the black horse trainers seriously. There was something to be said in that, even though they had, you know, their relative was the jockey in that original picture. So they're very important.
I have been on a set where an animal wrangler did talk to us before.
Oh
yeah.
Was it OJ and M?
Yes. No, but I mean, like, I can't remember even what the animal was. Oh, it was,
see, you didn't take them seriously.
No,
you're horrible.
It did. What's that called when you put like an animal on your, like, it's like a flies,
like a bird,
a bird.
perched on your arm.
Yes, but they were like,
what's that called? A bird.
You know, bird. But they were like, you know, the birds can attack. I mean, there's a movie Alfred Hitchcock made called The Bird.
The Birds.
Never heard
you
of it.
You should look into
never
it.
Heard of it. Just
you
kidding.
should watch The Birds too. The Land's End.
Yeah,
there's a crazy dog barking in my apartment complex. I'm sorry if you guys can.
Oh my God, I hope he doesn't turn on you.
Well, okay, this is what I think you should do. Start a show where every night the dog eats one little like creature, and then the dog's gonna turn on you and bite your face off.
Yeah.
At this point, I just want to lock this dog in a car and throw the. I mean,
no,
not like forever, but like. Just for like a little while. Like, can you guys hear this?
I can hear a little bit of the dog barking.
It's
well,
terrible.
Look, I feel like
edit this part out.
This is probably a good time to come to a close with this episode. I hope so. Well, first off, Stanley, like we had a lot of fun seeing the movie with you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
And talking about horror movies is something we do anyway. It was just kind of fun to like spend an hour going in depth about, because I usually will talk about a horror movie for like 10 seconds.
Right. And I learned a lot listening to both of you guys' point of view.
Well, I learned a lot about happy endings and about Tim
vaginas in the sky.
Tim liking vaginas in the sky.
That is not true.
And I also learned that Stanley has an annoying dog that lives in his apartment complex.
Oh, he's the worst. His name is Rumi. And really it's his owners. It's not him. I love
it's not your dog?
No, my dog is an angel. She's sleeping in her bed right now. We have thin walls and thin flooring. I live on the bottom floor. And it's not him. It's his evil mother.
Wow.
Well, look, before we go, Stanley, do you want to tell listeners where they can? Oh, I mean, I guess I kind of did, but like where they should follow Stanny Boy Reviews, or what social media pages you have?
Sure. Yeah. I'm on Instagram at Stanny Boy Reviews, and I'm also on Twitter at Stanny Boy Review without the S. And I'm on YouTube at Stanny Boy Reviews. So
yeah. And definitely people like the cool thing about Stanley's channel, and it very much differs from ours because his reviews are spoiler free. So in case you want like a shorter, quicker, just like a quick kind of review of stuff. And he also sometimes picks new stuff, sometimes picks old stuff.
Denise Richards 1 and 2 parts.
And he interviewed twice the one and only Denise Richards.
I am forever jealous, but forever happy for you.
And you're forever young.
Well, thank you, because I'm the oldest one here.
That's true.
No, you're not.
Well, look, Stanley, thank you so much. Actually, before we go, we do this with everyone who's on the show. Can we take like a screenshot pic with you?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Okay, hold on one second.
Looking good, Rocket Man.
Yep. Oh yeah, you like that?
Is that from the Oscar-winning film?
I believe so. Oh, let me know when. I'm sorry. Should I take these off? Like,
no, you can keep them on.
No? Okay.
It looks like, you know, podcasty.
I look like Britney Spears. All right.
Okay.
Wait.
1, 2, 3.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Seriously, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm sure we're going to have you on again when we talk about Nope Part 2. Yep.
More Keke.
Oh, Gordy goes back home.
Gordy, even though he had his head blown off, Gordy is ready.
Gordy is resurrected.
Gordy resurrected.
I think it should just be called Gordy.
That's the one.
Okay, well, thank you, Stanley. We'll talk with you soon.
I appreciate it, you guys. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Bye, Stanley.
Bye.